So, what has turned into the biggest period of time of any year for women in rodeo is about to begin. I am joined by Sammy Joe Smith from the WRWC and the WCRA. You got a lot of W's in those names there, Sammy. Welcome. The Cowgirl Gathering's about to happen. The Women's Rodeo World Championships are about to happen. Next Gen Rodeo is a big part of this because we're taking the entries. Where do you want to start?
We're in year 6 of Women's Rodeo World Championship. This is, I believe, the third year that APHA has been tied in with Women's Week. Mayor Maggie Parker of Fort Worth proclaimed it Women's Week. We pay out $1.2 million. And again, if anybody's 13 years or older and competes in barrels, breakaway, heading, heeling, and now goat tying, Fort Worth, Texas is the place to be May 10th through the 17th, Steve.
Yeah, I got to ask you about all of that. I want to make sure we talk about the go time, but let's talk about the entries just to make sure that, depending on when folks are watching this, the entries are either about to or are open now on the Next Gen app. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Next Gen will open pre-entries for the barrels and breakaway roping on Monday, March 24th. This is the one and only place to get your entry in. And this is the first year that APHA and Women's Rodeo have partnered together. Everyone competing is going to pay a $100 women's office fee, is what we're calling it. But it's really a huge discounted opportunity for everyone competing to become a WRC ID card member, Steve. So that means we're going to classify them. They're going to be classified as either pro, challenger, or limited in their discipline. And they're going to have the opportunity to qualify to the 2025 Women's Rodeo World Championship. But that's not all. That $100 also gets them a nomination for the Open to earn points to qualify to next year's finals. Um,
Wow.
it's also a qualifier series event, so the highest placing pro, challenger, and limited athlete get a guaranteed spot to next year's finals, as well as that W26 ID card. So, yeah, we're really grateful for our partnership with APHA and again making this the richest week in women's rodeo, and for us to give everyone this discounted opportunity to participate in WRWC.
So the entries open on March the 24th, which is Monday. And like I say, depending on when you're watching this, they probably have already opened. But take me through event by event the prize money opportunities and the opportunities that are available because all of this flows into the Women's Rodeo World Championships. Um, and it's all going on at the same time the PBR World Finals are going on. So the Dallas Fort Worth area is kind of the central hub of a lot of things that week. So talk about just kind of go through the barrels and the breakaway and the various events because there's a lot of money at stake.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge everyone to fact check me at cowgirlgathering.com. But the barrels starts off April 25th through the 26th in Stephenville, Texas. That's a $40,000 added barrel race. And then, of course, with the entry fees, they're going to pay way more than that. And so, again, that event is a last chance qualifier, $40,000 added. The open 5D is where we'll take the pros, challengers, and limited out of Cowgirl Gathering into our finals. Then the team roping is Saturday, May 10th in Weatherford, Texas. That's a $10,000 added event, an open team roping, all girl, of course. And then on Sunday, May 11th is the breakaway roping. $21,500 is added for the breakaway. They actually run an open roping and a challenger roping, which again, we just pride ourselves at women's on this tiering opportunity and giving those challenger and limited now a place to compete just against their peers that have the same competition level. So that is the money at Cowgirl Gathering. And then we roll into the richest rodeo, women's rodeo of all time, which is a $750,000 payout
It's
for
amazing.
and challengers. That's equal money. So it's actually 187,500 in barrels, breakaway, heading, and heeling. We've introduced the limited competition. So it's a brand new 4D barrel race for our limited riders and a 2D breakaway roping for our limited breakaway ropers. And then, like we were talking about earlier, the first ever Smarty Rodeo goat tying showcase is coming. That's a $10,000 added goat tying. Smarty's giving away one of their Smarty horses that's going to be branded women's, and the winner of the goat tying showcase is going to go home with that. So, tons of money, tons of prizes. And I just have to say it, Steve, the top three pros, three challengers, and one limited finish women's inside AT&T Stadium alongside the PBR World Finals. 30,000 people get to watch and see who wins $60,000 in all of these disciplines in women. So it's going to be an electric week, and yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Sammy, this is what the third year that they've gotten a chance to move on and compete, or fourth, compete at the PBR finals. That's got to be such a thrill.
It really is. And we went the very first year, which was COVID, and everybody had to stay in their bubble.
Oh
Kind
wow,
of
I forgot about
interesting.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. But then
I've
we
been trying to erase everything, all things COVID, from my mind if I can.
right? But then this last year, we went back in and with the Kid Rock and Rodeo, and then following right into Saturday with the PBR World Finals and women's. There's nothing like it. I'm telling you that the crowd is electric. They're so excited to see those barrel racers and everybody come out. And we're just, again, thank you to WCRA and PBR for partnering and really giving women's rodeo this stage.
Tell me more about the goat tying. What are the origins there of that whole idea and that opportunity? The reason breakaway roping went kaboom like it did is because so many really talented women would get out of college, and other than their local regional association, they wouldn't have many places to go. And kind of the same thing applies to the goat tying, I think.
Yeah, well, 3 years ago, PBR and WCRA brought on Lindsay Rosser Sumter as our commissioner. Everybody knows and loves Lindsay, but with her tie as a college rodeo coach for 13 years, and WCRA partnering with NIRA and awarding a top hand bonus last year, Timberman, excuse me, went home with $10,000 at the CNFR because he earned
Hmm.
the most points in this WCRA top hand bonus. But the only problem with it was goat tires weren't eligible to win that $10,000 because they had no other rodeo to nominate and participate with WCRA. So that's where Lindsay and a few others, Stacy Martin, myself, obviously the leaders of PBR and WCRA, we got together and said, we got to do something about this. We're raising the bar. Everyone deserves a place at these competitions. So we introduced the goat tying showcase at women's. Smarty immediately called and said, we have to be a part of this. And they became our title sponsor. And yeah, so all call this year, it's just college rodeo athletes have been nominating their college rodeos to earn points. We bring the top 20 from the leaderboard as of April 13th to our finals. They'll compete in two head and a short round, and that's where there's a $1,000 world champ bonus, lots of money to be won, and just a great opportunity for goat tires. And our plans next year, Steve, is to raise the bar, open it up to more athletes to qualify, and just keep pushing it to, yeah, make it something that they can continue to do after college rodeo.
Interesting. Sammy, talk about the environment and what happens in Fort Worth and what the opportunities that, I mean, the Cowgirl Gathering is it's become a massive event. It's become one of the highlight events of the year, I think, in the Fort Worth stockyards. And there are a lot of highlights that take place in the stockyards. That
Yeah.
whole middle of the month of May, that's Cowboy Town anywhere, and it kicks
Yeah.
up about 10 notches.
No, you're absolutely right. Women's is trying to really create an inclusive environment for everyone, and Cowgirl Gathering as well. They have the Cowgirl Conversation, which they bring any type of woman in the industry together to network. They do mixers, panels, all kinds of cool stuff. They have a fashion show right down there in Mule Alley. They're doing a digital art show this year, and then obviously the competition. And then for us, this is a world championship event. Girls have
Yeah.
been competing all year long to qualify to our finals. So we have our big gala where the girls will get their back number. We'll be giving 400 back numbers this year and honoring, they get all dressed up. We do the red carpet. They get honored that evening before the competition starts. And then we have Kimes Ranch doing a special event for our girls in their store. Everybody, the coolest thing we did last year, we're going to do it again, is a get ready party before AT&T Stadium. Cedar Creek Cowgirls gets makeup out, hairstylists. We get these girls feeling amazing before going into AT&T, and it's just a fun way to really honor these women that have worked so hard to qualify to our finals.
Yeah. So, Sammy, let me just kind of throw it open to you if there's anything we missed. But the most important thing, it sounds to me like, for cowgirls to know right now, with the Cowgirl Gathering coming up, and the Women's Rodeo World Championships right around the corner, less than 2 months from now, is the entries are about to open May 24th, Monday, on the Next Gen app. The entries are about to open, but take it from there. What have I missed? What are the biggest things that you want people to take away from this?
Yeah, mark your calendars, get entered. Barrels and breakaway, there are pre-entries. Team roping is walk up only. So
Got
team
it.
ropers definitely plan to show up that morning early, get your entry in. Our team will be in contact with everyone and classifying you correctly in the pro, challenger, or limited. You can check out our website, womensrodeochampionships.com, and go to the classification tab to read about how you're classified pro, challenger, or limited. But it's really based on your earnings, based on whether you've had a pro card in the last 5 years. And then we also ask some additional questions. Have you competed at the CNFR before? Have you competed at national high school finals? We want to put you in the right tier to compete against your peers in the correct place. So definitely mark your calendars, get to Cowgirl Gathering, plan to spend the week with us at the richest week of women's rodeo. And if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to our team because we're here to help.
I just want everybody to know how good Sammy Joe is. My last question was going to be, explain how you classify the pros and the limiteds, and you did that without me even saying it. That's how good you are, Sammy.
Thanks, Steve. We've worked together a while, and
Well,
it's
yes, we have.
cool to see how far we've come.
Yes, we have. Sammy, I appreciate your time. Go to the Next Gen app. Monday is when the entries are open, and that's for the barrel racers and the breakaway ropers. Team ropers are walk up, and the goat tires are basically
So
designated as to those that are going to be there, right?
yeah, April 13th is when the women's rodeo leaderboard closes. So
Got it.
our team will then reach out to the leaderboard athletes that qualify to the finals. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Sammy Joe, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Steve.